Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, is the PC Muscle Race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
What's poppin'?
Also joining us is the mad masked pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
And I am very mad about it because my son has the COVID. I hate it. I hate smelling my breath all day. I hate it.
That's what
Don't work in healthcare.
I am in healthcare.
Behind the counter at the pharmacy, it's different.
The voice you hear there is the returning champion himself, Matthew Kiel.
Oh no, I'm not a champion of anything. Hello, how are you?
Nope. Return of the Mac is playing, but you know.
Oh Jesus, here we go.
I thought about that today when I was like, "Oh yeah, Matt's coming on." And I was like, "Return of the Mac."
Meanwhile, you totally missed Mad Mask Farmer Road. Did miss that one.
It's too late now.
Yeah.
There's also a fifth person here on this show.
Whoa!
Newcomer to the Boss Rush Podcast, RushJetTV.
Oh, hi. I let myself in.
You did.
The window was unlocked and I just kind of...
Yeah, that's weird.
Right on in.
My window.
There's a couch. It's fine.
It's all right. A lot of us...
Like that scene in the league. Taco, don't use the front door. I don't use the front anything.
I love the league. So good. Well, Rush, you're the new person here. Why don't you tell people who you are and what you do on the internet?
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm Rush. I do a lot of things on the internet, from like video creation to podcasting to streaming. I think my current big project right now is a channel called Rogue Station 9, which is kind of like a big hub for all kinds of entertainment. It's got a podcast. It's got a streaming channel. We stream Monday through Thursday, and sometimes on the weekends when exciting things are going on. I'm one of multiple people involved in that project. But I don't know, man. I've been streaming on the internet since it was able to be done on Justin TV. And that's pretty much it, man. I don't know what else to say. Playing video games for a long ass time. Oh wait, can we swear here?
Yeah. Oh.
It doesn't get more OG than calling out Justin TV.
I know. I was like taking me back.
Oh, I can get worse. I used to
agree. I think I
play Counter-Strike Source semi-professionally when I was 13.
Counter-Strike, man. Is that still a thing? Is Counter-Strike still a thing? I don't know.
Global Offensive is still going on. It's gotten a lot weirder, but it's not what it used to be.
That's like the rage. That's like the rage in the esports community now. CS:GO.
Is it
Mhm.
again? Did they pass it and then now it's come back around? Did it get popular when Valorant came back out? When Valorant came out,
No. It's always had its own momentum and stuff like that. Like it hasn't died and come back because of anything recent.
Look, the only PC game I play is Roller Coaster Tycoon. Okay, I don't have time for any of this stuff.
The first one?
Yeah, the first one.
Just the first one.
Technically, it's Roller Coaster Tycoon Deluxe, and it has all the levels from 1 and 2 in it. So,
Ooh.
Come on.
I'm not going to pretend to know a ton about Counter-Strike, but I know when the new one comes out, it's very much like Smash Brothers. Everybody that loves it and is super into it hates it, waits for it to get patched a few times, and then everyone comes back to it and it does numbers.
Oh.
Because I remember when Global Offensive came out, and then it came out on PlayStation. And I used to take a lot of shit on a podcast I was on before because I platinumed it on PlayStation, and it was, oh, you don't know how to play shooters. It's not a real shooter. I'm like, it's Counter-Strike, though. What? You're gonna gatekeep Counter-Strike? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
But then you realize, oh wait a minute, it's the 2010s, and I'm on the internet. Of course, people are gonna gatekeep shit.
Yeah, well, that's how it works. That's how the internet works, everybody. Nobody likes anything. They only like the old things, and then they go back and complain about the old things because it's old. So, Yeah. Did you see that big article from Video Games Chronicle that said a study showed that I don't know, the internet is racist and terrible and protecting their own little group of friends?
Is that a surprise?
No.
Yeah,
So is
I was
that
like-
new?
I was like, did they,
I mean,
did they
I've-
just come to this realization?
I mean,
Well, so as much as I echo the sentiments of everybody here, there is a scientific process that you need to go through in order to prove all. So sometimes proving what we all know does take time.
yeah. Well, you know.
Okay. Fair.
But
Hey.
if it would have came out the other way, everyone would have been like, "Nuh-uh."
Yeah. Also true.
Them numbers be fudged, yo.
Yeah, for real.
By the way, hey Matt, I think your audio switched over to your webcam or something.
Oh, okay, I'll work on that.
Yeah.
There's
Well-
a little bit of crackle.
Yeah, while Matt works on that, I'm going to do the Patreon thing. If you want to support the Boss Rush podcast and various other shows here on the Boss Rush Network, you can head over to Patreon, patreon.com/Boss Rush Network, where you can support your favorite creators at certain monthly tiers. We offer 2 tiers, the $1 tier, which is early access to 5 separate shows, or you can become a Patreon producer by hitting the $5 tier. What does that mean? It means you get early access plus a shout out on this here podcast. So without further ado, our Patreon producers for this episode of the Boss Rush podcast are, if I can get there, because I should have been opening that while I was doing my little thing there, Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, my wife, Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank all of our patrons. And I want to thank all of our free listeners. Remember, all of our content remains free. We just offer a few perks if you support us. If you are a free listener, please leave us a 5-star rating or a nice review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. If you are watching this video right now, subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the bell, all the things. And if you aren't a patron, consider heading over there to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. I'm sure everybody saw the notice on social media, but in case you didn't, we are pausing standard definition for a while until we can straighten some things out. So just so everybody's aware. But we are currently ramping up episodes of Talk the Walk, which everybody enjoys. So we'll have that and more interviews and more cool stuff, extra episodes of Expansion Pass. So we're filling the holes, as we say here on the Boss Rush podcast.
All about them holes.
Yeah.
Bringing that back.
Let's talk about them holes for a second.
Yeah. Now's a good time to promote the Boss Rush After Dark episode of Holes. Episode 38, I believe. There's 2 holes in that 8. Just saying. Yeah. Matt's thinking about what an 8 looks like.
It's a snowman
No,
missing
I
a
was
top.
I was trying to think of a way to look at the 3 as like a set of holes that has been destroyed from use. But
Wow.
Oh man. By the way, we've done 42 episodes of After Dark already.
That's awesome.
It's hilarious.
secret to life.
Yeah. The free episode that went up this week was What's Your Sign?
It's a big H.
Mine's an M.
Nice.
An M
M?
with a devil's tail.
Ooh.
Yes. Okay.
Fancy.
My personal
And it is my season right now, y'all.
I'm a crooked Roman numeral 2.
Wow.
I am a Roman numeral 2 in italics.
My personal favorite episode of After Dark is Conquered by Clippy, so if you want to check that out.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Can we please do like a complimentary episode to
Yeah,
that?
we need to do Conquered by Clippy 2.
LeRon was shaking his head the entire time.
Let's just do an episode where we're all just watching Conquered by Clippy and just reacting to it.
It's not a video. It's a short story.
Whatever.
You can.
There's an audio. There's audio. You could just listen to it. We could all react to it. Come on, man.
That's fair. That's fair. Anybody playing or watching anything cool? Rush, you're the new guy here. We're gonna go your way first. Are you playing anything cool? You playing anything fun? Or
contrary to popular opinion, I'm playing Gotham Knights.
ooh. Now, Stoy on Crossroads last night had a lot of good things to say about Gotham Knights. So you're not alone.
I'm playing through it with my good buddy Mark Classic, and like it's a lot of fun just running around Gotham, bopping thugs and just making jokes and having fun with your friends. I think I can see how that game would be really boring single player, but co-op it's pretty damn good. Aside from that, I'm playing Destiny, but we don't talk about Destiny here.
We do talk about Destiny here. I'm gonna be talking about Destiny here.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to figure out if we're gonna raid or do a dungeon or something this weekend. But that's a conversation for a different chat, I guess. I'm
gonna say this: Gotham Knights has a 69 on Metacritic, and I think that's nice.
Nice.
Actually, speaking of Gotham Knights, super quick, who has it on our March Madness thing? Corey, is that you or is it LeRon?
I don't.
One of y'all had Gotham Knights.
Let me look in the Discord. I'll find it.
I don't think it was me.
I actually think it was you, Stephanie.
Oh, really?
Where is it? Is it under our team chat? Where is this list?
Tickled on that one.
Let's see. Nope, I do have it.
Ha. We need to follow up on that. I think all of the games are finally either in or delayed.
Well, we'll do a after. So God of War comes out the week it comes out next week. We'll follow up with it the week Stephanie and I get back from vacation.
Yeah.
We'll follow up on this because there's a couple games that I have that came out and I don't think got good scores. So, but I updated my Gotham Knights to 69. Nice.
Heyo.
Stephanie, you had Saints Row, but you also had Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
I actually did not check what the rating was for that.
How'd that score? Let me see.
I think it's at an 88 or an 89. LeRon had Modern Warfare 2. Man, I gotta update all these scores.
Well, a lot of them did just come out.
So,
I think that might be Stacy, honey.
Anyways,
Mario plus Rabbids has an 86. Gotham Knights has a 64.
Wow, I'm shocked. Not so shocked at Mario plus Rabbids because it's a good game, but I just don't see it.
Metacritic, I just googled it. Mine was the PS5.
That says Series X.
No.
the console
They rank it
versions
based on cards, based on what it's played on.
Yeah, console versions are ranked different than the PC version because usually the PC versions run better at least most of the time.
PC has a 66. PlayStation has a 65. I'm sorry, 69.
Nice.
I'm surprised it's that low.
PlayStation has the highest user score though.
Yeah. Well,
were there any issues with review bombing it because people were pissed about the 30?
It did get review bombed. It got review bombed on two fronts: the 30 frames thing and the and no Batman.
So
no Batman. You mean the whole premise of the game is
Batman's dead.
Oh,
where he gonna be?
It's literally the first thing they showed off was Batman's goodbye message to them. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I really I wish there was a better way to fend off review bombing like that. Here's
what I say. I say if you're interested in it, buy it when you think it's worth it, and then enjoy it.
And in all honesty, that should be how you gauge how good of a game is. How does it sell?
And you know what? Though I will say, I think I don't want to guarantee it. Mark in our Boss Rush community is trying to get a collab review on Gotham Knights. So,
well, you need to start the story.
Here's the thing, though, LeRon. You can't always base it off the way it sells because Guardians of the Galaxy was the best game I played last year, and it didn't sell hardly anything.
Yeah, because they gave it away.
What do you mean they gave it away?
That game was on sale on the shelves for sales for 4 months. Then next thing you know, it was on fucking PlayStation Plus. Then it was free
because
on
it
Epic.
didn't sell.
And then it was on Game Pass.
Here's the thing, though. It didn't sell. Square's probably trying to make up some money before they sold those studios, too. So, you know. Anyways, Rush, who are you playing as?
Going by how things sell, it has a window on it too, because you can't just extend that out forever.
That is true. Yeah, you can't do you.
Or can you?
Sales, when do you actually like call it lifetime sales? You know, like when the next game comes out.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Which is why I'm sitting in my office talking about it and not at some studio.
Not actually doing
it's like we said last night on Crossroads. The video game world is weird.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Rush, who are you playing as?
Red Hood.
Nice.
I love Red Hood.
Yeah. That's a good animated film, by the way.
Yeah, that's like my favorite one. Yeah, that's why I picked him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite. I think that's my favorite of the Batman animated movies.
Yeah.
That and Justice League. What was the one where Batman had like the fucking kill codes for everybody?
Doom.
Doom, yes.
Yeah.
He had the kill codes for everybody in DCU.
I also liked Mask of the Phantasm when that came out.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I really liked.
Yeah, the classic one. Yeah.
I really liked Revenge of the Joker when it first came out, and then I rewatched it like recently. And I was like, this is okay.
Wait, you don't think it stands up to test of time?
I personally don't, but I mean, I could also just be dumb and jaded.
Oh.
Wait,
just like,
which one is Revenge of the Joker? That's not the Batman Beyond
Batman
one.
Beyond.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the? I guess spoilers for this 25-year-old movie. I guess.
Right.
That's the one where Jason Todd ends up morphing into the Joker, right?
Not Jason Todd, Tim Drake.
Yeah, Tim Drake. Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad. One of them. There's too many Robins.
It's good. Like if you've never seen it, ooh baby, it's good. But I don't know. Maybe I just watched it too much, and I'm just like, yes, here we go again. Please let me off Mr. Bones' wild ride.
There are certain.
Oh, good.
There are certain movies that you watch too many times and you're like, man, it's not that. It's starting to wear on me. But there are also certain movies that you can watch all the time and be like, that is a damn fine film.
Roll it again.
Yeah. Like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
I was waiting for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say someone's gonna say it.
Great movie. I was thinking about that movie yesterday, actually.
I was thinking about it like 2 hours ago.
That's fair.
I was thinking about that ride the other day.
The Disneyland
The
one?
Indiana Jones. Yeah.
I've never been to Disneyland.
I was thinking about that too. What?
I've only been in Disney World. I've never been to
Oh,
Disneyland.
dude, Disneyland's. I mean, I'm not gonna say like, I'm not gonna compare the two, but man, Disneyland's got some cool stuff like that Indiana Jones ride. I think it's. Woo!
I'm gonna go someday. It's closed now though because they're refurbishing it. I do know that. But is that all you're playing, Rush? Is just.
Oh man, no! I'm playing through Sifu again, or let me rephrase that. I picked it back up. I played it when it first came out. Man, I am stuck on the museum.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, Sifu is like the espresso version of a From Software game, where From Software games have these like big, large opening. Like these like big large like areas you can explore where they give you these challenges, where Sifu is these like super condensed hardcore challenges from room to room, and it just whew. That game, I was just streaming it yesterday. That game took me to the cleaners, man.
Yeah, it was tough, but I got addicted to it. For some reason, that game just had what it takes, and I finally on PlayAsia, Sifu, the Redemption Edition, is available to pre-order, and I really want it. I really want it.
Get it. Do it.
Do it.
That's
the one that comes with the charm, like the physical charm.
Yes.
Get it.
Yes.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Worst case, you resell it later.
Do it.
All right, done.
Oh
Man,
man.
that game's great. Like Slow Clap is just a really good developer. Like their other game, Absolver, was. I feel like I was like one of like, the last 40 people to play Absolver.
I don't
That game was great.
I don't know if I've ever played or heard of Absolver.
I have Absolver. I've never booted it up though.
Oh,
I
it's so
always-
good. It's like a kung fu deck builder.
Yeah.
Deck builder, he says.
Night.
I'm out.
Well, it's more like you have a deck that is the set of moves that you know, and then you can swap different moves in and out.
Hmm.
You're kind of like building a fighting game character, essentially.
Sounds like a board game my wife and I play. It's right behind me. It's called Onitama. That's exactly what that sounds like.
That's a great game.
It is. It rules.
Well, I guess we'll move on now. Matt, are you playing anything fun? Playing anything cool?
Oh boy. So I was on vacation last week. Reba and I. Oh, actually, I've got news. Since the last time I was here, I'm going to be a father.
Yay!
I don't know if you know that yet. Thank you. We are halfway through. We are 21 weeks as of today.
Can I start calling you Matt Daddy? Instead of
Daddy
Mac
Matt.
Daddy?
Come on, Daddy Matt.
I don't want to make you jump. I'm sorry.
May I call you Big Papa?
No, please, no. No, because unlike Criss Cross, you could put some respect on Biggie's name. We can do hip hop references all night.
Right.
But so, I'm in the middle of prepping for a thing I might be doing that I'll be more willing to talk about later. But I've been playing a bunch of roguelikes as of late. Some new, some old. But one thing I would like to just highlight that's new that came out in the past week or so, or at least I was hip to it in the past week or so. It's a browser game. You can all go to it right now. Type in slowroads.io. It is a driving game. It is. I'm going to say it. It's probably the perfect video game because you just drive. It's a procedurally generated world. The roads never repeat, and you just go. You put on some synthwave, put on some music that'll help you chill, and just drive. I've over the past, I think the past couple of days, I've driven 200 miles in this game. Just watching.
God. Don't let Stoy hear about this game.
Just watching the environment change, like it's fucking beautiful, and it's one of those. It's one of those things that like I wish I could show my dad, because I have a feeling that of all of my father never liked video games. He never really cared too much that I played them. Like his big thing is I can't even get past level 3 in Mario Brothers. But I'll bet you I could put this in front of him and he would just drive because that's who he was as a person. Like he could get in a car and just go. 23 hours to Florida for a family vacation. We're all in the car. He needs to go across the country for business. He'll take the car. Did not like to fly, but the idea of my dad going to unknowable places that are just kind of a vibe to look at is a wonderful thing. This is, and I know that ultimately, like the developer, I think it's just one person. The developer has said it's basically a tech demo. They will probably add things to it. They have a Discord server. I've not joined that. I've not really gone into that. I have thrown them some money because I've driven a lot in it. You can switch the terrain from things that would be like on Earth, like a road with rolling hills and water, You could drive on Mars. You could drive on Venus. Like it is. You could drive on the moon. This is a really cool, robust, fully formed thing, in my opinion. And it is. I can't wait to see who else implements this idea. Like I can honestly see like a time where a game like Art of Rally that came out last year just incorporates this idea and just says, just drive, just have fun, just enjoy some time. It is probably one of the chillest experiences I've had all year. And I'm still playing Monster Hunter as much as humanly possible. I've gone back to the bow from the insect glaive, and I think those are my weapons. I think my two weapons are forever going to be the bow and the insect glaive from now on. I've tried most of the others, and these are the two that I just feel the most. I feel the most myself playing.
It gives me warm and fuzzies like right here.
Why?
Well, no. Because I've been on this I've been a week off from Monster Hunter, but I've been doing this thing now where I'm just trying out all sorts of new weapons I just really haven't like taken seriously or played in previous versions. Like right now, I'm split between learning my way around the switch axe to like I made a hammer build the other day, and I'm finally gonna sit down and learn my way around the fucking greatsword.
Wow, the greatsword.
I mean, if you've learned the hammer, as far as I know, the
greatsword should translate pretty easily.
The greatsword and the hammer are basically the same weapon, except the greatsword can cut. I think that's probably why I like the bow and the glaive, because they are weapons that have similar mechanics around them. Monster Hunter is really cool. If it comes up with y'all, I will talk more about it. I also want to spotlight a game that I actually played for a movie podcast. It is called Immortality. It is by the team Half Mermaid, Sam Barlow's team, who did Her Story and Telling Lies from a couple of years ago. This game, as of right now, it's probably going to be my game of the year. It's not my typical fare for sure, because I'm the Souls-like roguelike guy, I guess. But this is kind of a mystery told through FMV clips of the career of an actress who's imagined, fictitious, and 3 fictitious films she made that were never actually released. It's all done through like archive footage. It's very, I mean, it's if you recall Her Story or Telling Lies, it's all just video footage, and you kind of piece things together as you go. There's an entire meta layer on top of it. I'm not really going to go any further, because if I would like anybody that tries this game, it is on Game Pass right now. Try and go in as absolutely blind as possible. Like I recorded it for my movie show. It's called Freereeling It. It's our next episode. It'll be coming out. This game blew my mind in ways that I did not expect. When Her Story came out, I think in 2015, 2016, I think. That game kind of blew my mind in ways. This is probably the next step since that, and I kind of want to see how this particular game makes the waves it could make through game development, especially in the FMV space, because I think that is a largely not it's I don't want to say ignored, but I know that like when you say FMV, if you know enough about the history of FMV games, there's a certain connotation that comes with that. Because some of them
sewer shark night
it's
trap.
Old, but like also a lot of a lot of those older games were made with such a tongue-in-cheek attitude and a super low budget to a way they looked like they didn't even look sometimes good enough to be parody. But this is like almost Hollywood level budget. It's a Hollywood level idea. It's a Hollywood level approach.
I honestly feel like the days where like FMVs were a thing in games, I really think this is people trying to get their chops into breaking into Hollywood. You know, like from directing to producing to actors and stuff like that. I really think that's what it was all about. You know, like effects artists and things like that. So
Sure.
I know I jokingly said like it's old, and stuff like that, but like it's no, like we've got a decent history of it because like 1.5 generations of gaming, like dealt with FMVs, and then like when when FMVs started shifting because like like you had rendered CG stuff that was technically FMVs.
Yeah.
Like look at all the PlayStation 1 like cutscenes and all that stuff, and then like PS2 era comes out, and then all of a sudden they're like, no, we're just gonna put all this stuff in engine, and it's gonna be real time. It's gonna be real time, like rendered scenes, So yeah, like,
sure. But Immortality.
So when I saw like Her Story and like stuff like that, I was like, oh shit, like is it a possibility we're making a comeback? Like.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't play Telling Lies. I still have not. But playing this made me want to see what Telling Lies might do differently than Her Story. I played Her Story like on release because I think I heard like the Idle Thumbs podcast mention it at the time, and the way that they spoke about it, I'm like, oh cool, I'll try this. And then I got super into that game, and then I just never got a chance to play Telling Lies. But Immortality is amazing. All of the actors in it are wonderful. I want to see them in movies. I want to see them on TV. And I like that in the games I've interacted with since Barlow and his team have kind of been doing this idea. I can't wait to see what they bring forth next, because while I can't speak about Telling Lies, Her Story and Immortality are very, very different in very interesting ways. There are similarities, like there is kind of a through line in how they approach things, but it's Immortality is absolutely mind blowing. Try and go in as blank as possible, and take your time. Now, I will say if you're hearing me say that and you want to go do it, let me tell you this: if watching 2 to 5 minute film clips for like 6 to 10 hours and trying to put things together is not your speed, don't do it. I mean, I know it's on Game Pass, and if you have a Game Pass subscription, you could easily go do it. But if you were purchasing and this is not your thing, if this idea is not for you, don't do it. Don't wait. Your money will be better spent somewhere else. And then that's it. I'm watching a whole bunch of cool anime, reading a cool manga, but I can save that for another time.
Cool. Stephanie, what are you playing?
Not as cool, but I'm playing a lot of Mario plus Rabbids.
Yeah.
I had that pre-ordered, and I wasn't even expecting to play that much, but my son saw the game, and he's a huge Mario fan, so he immediately demanded that I play it, which means over the course of the days, that means he wants to play it. And since he's quarantining with me, that's what we've been doing a lot of. So I'm on the third world right now. I'm adding more people to the team. It's a lot of fun, especially since tactic strategy games really aren't my type. But it's clever, it's cute, it's quirky. So just something funny. When I dock it and they go through some of the battle animations, like everything kind of like sputters and chugs along really painfully. I'm like, ooh, Ooh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Something that I never see on my PlayStation.
Yeah.
But it is very fun. I really do like the game a lot. I'm also going to try and get a game review going if Corey could help toss in some tidbits my way.
Yeah, I'll write something up.
No pressure. Just the comparison to the first game, because even though I own the first game, I never got around to playing it. So, I think it wouldn't be a great review if it couldn't at least include how it compares to the last one. So,
Yeah.
and
I'll write something up. It might have to be Friday though.
oh, no rush, no rush.
I'm excited to play that game. I really love the first one.
Good. No, I'm a huge, I liked Super Mario Galaxy, so the fact that it's got like the Rabid Rosalina and the sparks and stuff, it's really cool. And using different spark abilities to enhance your characters and all the buffs they can give, it's actually pretty awesome. And it's funny, it's hilarious. I've taken like 50,000 screenshots, and my son's having a good old time. Of course, he drives me nuts because he's 7 and he doesn't get strategy. So he'll go make his move right out there in the open, doesn't hide behind anything, and then he goes and gets himself shot 50 times, and I get upset and walk out of the room.
If it makes you feel better, I do that sometimes too. Because, I like to live life dangerously.
I, too, like to live life dangerously. Oh, then maybe I'm just too
Austin Danger Power.
My name is Richie Cunningham, and this is my wife, Oprah.
Oprah. I too like to live
dangerously.
Oh
man, that's good.
Austin Powers, man, what a classic.
Couldn't
Couldn't
be made now.
He was on Jimmy Fallon the other night though, and said he wanted to make another one. He said if people want another one, he will make it. He said it depends on the demand and pretty much if a studio will help him make one.
I don't know.
I don't know if it'd be funny now.
Yeah, it was ripe for its time. Just leave it so we can remember it fondly.
If you think about it correctly, Austin Powers could be made now, but Austin Powers is the target of ridicule this time out.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, very much like in that first one where, Elizabeth Hurley is like, "Did you wear a condom?" Those are for sailors, not in the 90s. You didn't know about AIDS. Like, you need to protect yourself, Austin.
The 90s. Oh man.
Woo! Man.
What a time. What a time to be alive.
Bless them.
And I can't recall, I'm starting to get my podcast confused. I think I mentioned on EXP Cast. Did I tell y'all I finally finished Ikai?
I don't think you did.
I think I saw that in Discord.
So I finished it. I finished my spooky game of the month.
I saw your review.
It wasn't great. It was not good. It still scared the shit out of me because I'm a pansy and anything scares me. But not great, especially if you're like a horror video game fan. You'd hate it. It's the first half of the game is nothing but jump scares, like overly gratuitous jump scares for jump scares' sake. A
horror fan would probably love it.
Oh, but if that's all it is and you can't defend yourself and it's the story's really garbage. I don't know. It's just, I will give credit where credit's due. It is it's indie developer. It did what they could. Overall, the graphics were nice. It ran okay, and it was steeped in a lot of Japanese folklore, like with the yokai. I think I love that stuff. So great, perfect. Got to see a lot of yokai and that kind of stuff. But other than that, and the voice acting, listen. I am not super picky about voice acting, but if you're playing as a priestess at a Shinto shrine and you're trying to seal away evil demons, you're not going to talk like this. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to paint this. It was like a Barbie girl voice as she's being followed by murderous monsters, and it just totally took me out of it. I just couldn't understand. But I completed it. I sealed all the bad guys away. And I live to tell the tale.
Good
died like
job.
50 times, but
You know?
Have you, if you like that kind of horror stuff, have you heard of the game World of Horror?
I have not.
It might work on the Steam Deck. It's like a text-based game, and a lot of the stuff is based off of like Japanese horror. The artwork, it looks like an old like DOS-box game.
Ooh.
It's really, really good, and it's an indie dev. It's one dude doing it. It's got a lot of like Junji Ito inspired stuff too.
Ooh, 9 out of 10. World of Horror, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Junji Ito, you have my attention.
It's a fantastic game, and like more people need to check it out. I'm not sure if it runs well on the Steam Deck, but
Good
aside from that,
question.
it's a fantastic game. I play that every Halloween just to kind of freak myself out for a little bit.
Oh, definitely. Oh, it's Steam Deck verified.
Ooh.
There it is. Perfect. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's what I've been playing.
So, in just looking at the studio Enflame, it looks like they're based in Catalonia, which is in Spain. So, it seems like culturally they suffer the flaws of trying to adapt Eastern cultures to the West. And they're thinking they have to do the anime trope thing, which is... I mean, this is just me looking at that. I've not played the game. I'm not going to sit here and say that there's a ton wrong with it, but like, we have to be honest. It do be like that sometimes.
It do be like that. So, anyway.
Some people can do it, like in Sucker Punch. I almost said Insomniac. Other people, maybe not.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But,
LeRon, what are you poking at over there?
There's a little project called Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection on PC.
Yeah.
Neat. Yeah. Well, Corey already heard most of this speech last night, but this is my second attempt at trying to play through and complete Uncharted 4 because when it was brand new on PS4 back in 2016, I got through half of it and kind of got bored of it, and that is no longer the case this time. Like I'm actually on track to beat my second game of the year. Like real soon here. And there's 2 games on this collection, so the sky's the limit at this point.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Look at you. You might hit 3.
Yeah, because even though Callisto Protocol comes out in December, I'm not gonna have that beat by before New Year's. Yeah, but I will have it beat before Dead Space remake comes out. Nice. I mean, yeah, I've started to realize I'm a late year gamer. I think because like we've been getting slammed this month with game releases. Like I pointed out last night that what we counted on Crossroads. 47 new games were released. This are releasing this week. Last week it was 25 games.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I don't count Nintendo Switch games, but some of those games are on the Switch platform that we mentioned, and stuff like that. Because if we added Bayonetta comes out this week, Mario & Rabbids is already out and stuff like that. I want to say the number easily jumps up to 60.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, then just like all the stuff that comes out on itch every day and.
Yeah. Oh God, we can't do that, man. Poor Andre would have no voice because he heads off like the notable games, weekly section for us, and man, I don't know if he thinks I'm torturing him now because we put small descriptions of certain games, like the ones that we think are highlights. For example, Call of Duty's out this week, so we had a quick descriptor for it, which Corey there you did the Soap McTavish voice, didn't you?
I did. It was a good time.
Do it again.
I would if I had the doc in front of me.
I can give you the doc. I got the doc right here.
Just read anything.
Send me the doc, LeRon.
Hold on.
I'll do the game description.
It's in the chat.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, come on, Matt. You listen
I'm
to
both
me
excited and terrified. Let's do this.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna clip that and then make that the highlight for Crossroads for the week.
That'd be great. Hold on. Where is the description for this game?
Scroll down to October 28th.
Yeah, but it started me at the bottom of the doc.
It started. Oh wow.
Oh god. Okay, here we go. There weren't this many people here last night, so all right. Task Force 141 makes it massive. Return to the Global Squad. Iconic veterans. The operators, including Captain John Price, Simon Ghost Riley, John Soak McTavish, Kyle Gaz Garrick, and introducing Mexican Special Forces, Colonel Alejandro Vargas.
Hell yeah.
See, that accent right there is how you have 2 kids.
Yeah,
I wrote it in my diary so I wouldn't have to remember.
I wrote it in my diary so I wouldn't have to remember. We named the dog Indiana.
Could you? Okay, so now could you read the?
I need to work on my Irish, Scottish, British accents. I do. I just want to throw people off when I just start start speaking like the Queen's English.
I would do unspeakable things to talk
King's
like
English now,
Sean Connery for the rest of my life.
No. Don't give Prince Charles any more respect. The Queen's English. Thank you very much. Fuck that big-eared geriatric intern. He's been waiting 70 years for his first fucking job. I don't care how old he is. I'm not giving that man. Fuck him.
All right, King Charles III. How old is he? He is 73.
He's an old one.
Congratulations, you finally have some responsibility, sir. Don't fuck it up. Oh wait, you already have.
To ascend to the throne.
People are cool, right? I mean, sure, king, dude. It went from like their monarchy went from like being super elegant and like respectful to like literally a caricature in a cartoon.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Sorry for all you English people. Go put some more vinegar on your food to make it taste better.
I'm not about to start that revolution.
Oh, I want some fish and chips. Fish and chips with some vinegar, please.
He's gonna get stabbed if he ever goes to the UK.
No, I'm not going. It's too far. I'm never going.
It's too far.
It's too far.
It's too far. They can't get me from over there. Good luck.
What are they gonna do? Try to take our land? Oh no! Too soon.
You're crossing some dangerous territory.
Too soon.
I'm gonna stop right there until.
Probably smart.
Yeah, but hey, nice way to segue back to Uncharted 4 though, because basically Drake and family at this point, are. Uncharted 4, they're basically trying to pillage everything that pirates pillaged from England, So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and like I said, I'm probably tracking to have that game beat by Friday, if I manage my time, not neglect the boyfriend, I should get it done, and then I can move on to Lost Legacy, because Lost Legacy is actually the one I wanted to play, but it just doesn't feel right to play Lost Legacy if I haven't beaten Uncharted 4,
Yeah, I mean, you should probably beat Uncharted 4 first, but Lost Legacy is definitely the better game, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, and I really want to play it, so I'm tasking myself to make sure I get this game completed, so I can, so I got stuff to do, and no, Stephanie, I haven't forgotten about Dead Space. It just no longer became the October project. Yeah. But it will be the project, as we're progressing towards Dead Space, because I got those suckers, Andre and Stoy, to buy Dead Space games, so so there's that. I just started watching Andor, but before you guys get excited, I'm only 15 minutes into the first episode because I got horribly distracted one day and just could not pay attention to it. So I'll be getting back into that, and I saw Tales of the Jedi, debuted, but I haven't seen any of that just yet.
Is that the cartoon one?
Yeah, and then I'm waiting for the season finale of Star Trek Lower Decks, which will be coming on sometime past midnight tonight, and then the second half season kickoff for Star Trek Prodigy.
What's your review on the 15 minutes you've seen of Endor?
I'm ready for them to get to the point.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm ready for them to get to the point. But I've already had it spoiled for me that it happens in threes for this show. Like the third episode, every third episode is where some good shit happens.
I was talking to somebody at work about Andor because they hadn't heard of it. They watched Star Wars, but they're not super into it. And I was talking.
Rogue One? They didn't see Rogue One?
No, I don't know. We didn't get that far because of this comment right here. I said I started watching Andor, and he's like, you mean the planet with all the teddy bears?"
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
No, Andor is a character, not indoor.
Andor.
I was like,
So
That's the show I want to watch.
So, until you said that, I didn't know Andor was a character because I've not seen it.
oh well, Andor.
No, it's fine because I thought it was just like, oh, they're just doing a show on Andor.
No,
Okay.
Cassian Andor is the main character of the show.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't.
And the show is a
But now I like the idea of a planet full of Teddy Ruxpins. It's gonna be great. Do that show.
Andor's
show's an Ewok.
Andor's a prequel to Rogue One, Matt.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know, just supplying the information.
I appreciate that. If I ever get Disney Plus, I'll probably watch it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, and then beyond that, my latest side project right now is I'm creating a Plex server because you guys might have seen me ranting on Twitter recently about how like I can't watch shit anymore because it's paywalled. Yeah, the last straw for me is like when I'm trying to watch a fucking sci-fi show and it's paywalled behind fucking Peacock, like of all the fucking places to be paywalled at,
Yeah.
I'm like that's the one place I'm trying not to spend my money at, because I think I do enough, I'm subscribed to the Disney Plus, Hulu Plus package. I've got an Amazon Prime Video, I mean shit, like I'm borrowing my roommate's Netflix, I hear that's a dirty word now. Yeah,
Yes.
but yeah. But
Did you see they're going to start charging to have extra users on your account?
Yeah, they.
Don't like that.
I've looked at it. I've done some of the math and everything, and people are just going to be willing to like spend like $5 extra, versus a monthly versus a monthly like new subscription tier, because all they're gonna be like, hey, like can you just throw me $5 for Netflix? Everybody's gonna be just Venmoing everybody $5 now.
Yeah. Look, I don't even remember the last time I like truly watched Netflix, to be honest with you.
Netflix is kind of where I will admit. Well, you know what? I actually my boyfriend and I just got through watching the reboot of The Mole on Netflix, and that it was fun. It was infuriating. If you guys remember about the Mole show from CBS.
Whoa.
I do not.
Yeah. Basically, it's a competition show where everybody's like competing for money and stuff like that. And at first, it's all about teams. Because I want to see what they had like. I want to say they had like 12 people.
I think it was, yeah, because at one point it was like 6-on-6, wasn't it?
Yeah, and but technically it's like 11 versus 1 because one person is the mole and that person is sabotaging them to not get any money, and so it was.
So it's Among Us.
Yeah, basically, yeah, it is. Here's
What?
the thing though, because it's rigged. It's rigged, on the production side because because some of these people make like really good guesses and they know who the mole is, and their guesses get them eliminated off the show, stuff like that, But it's funny, because like we from the audience perspective, we see the shit that's going on. It's like, man, what the fuck are they doing? Stuff like that, But no, that was fun, so I mean, Netflix has its place, but like for me, for the most part, Netflix is just that thing I run in the background when I'm working.
I mean, Reba and I have we have an uncommon fanaticism for the Great British Bake Off.
Mm-hmm.
So like we watch that pretty intently. We watch that like sports fans pretty much. It's weird. But then like we also like we put it on before we fall asleep because having noise helps. But yeah, that's our Netflix usage.
I love falling asleep to noise.
Me too. Like the TV's always on when I go to sleep.
Yep.
I just listen to music.
See, music is something I can't do. Like I will do it, but music I can't do because like I have one of those brains that kind of get latched onto like the rhythm and the beat and stuff like that, and it actually keeps me awake longer.
It'll force me to engage.
Yes.
Engage.
I just really like the phrase "it will force me to engage." Put that on my tombstone.
Yeah. That's it for me though. So yeah.
Cool.
I guess it's your turn, Corey.
I guess it is. I'll try to keep it a little bit short. I've actually been playing a lot. A little bit of a lot. I've played the first 2 hours of Nier Automata or Automata. I don't know how you say it. It's
Automata. Yeah.
Automata.
Automata.
Yeah, I think it's Automata.
Oh man, now the glass is torn.
I think.
I don't even know. I'm shooting in the dark here.
But it was a game that I'm like, okay, I'll try it. Everybody says this game's like amazing, and I'm you know how sometimes when people say games are amazing and they're just kind of like
They're not. They're not.
Everything is either always amazing and the best game ever, or it sucks, right? There's never an in
between. Get the hell
between.
away from me with your generated hype.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going into this like, okay, here we go. And I'm about 2.5 hours in. I'm probably if a normal person was playing, it's probably only like an hour and a half in. But I gotta like go down all the stairs and get in all the nooks and crannies and find all the stuff and all the secrets and stuff. So I've played for about 2 hours, and LeRon, you are frozen.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I can fix that.
And I'm like pretty obsessed with it. I really like the combat. I really like the character relationship so far. I mean, it's very minimal so far, but I can tell where it's going a little bit. And I really like the combat and the characters and the story so far. I like how it opens with the the shmup sequence is super cool. Fighting a lot of the robots around the world is super fun. I like that you have a little robot buddy that follows you around to like shoot things. That's also really fun. I don't know. I am just kind of, I don't know the right word with it and for it, but I really love it. I think it's a fantastic playing game, and I think if things are happening the way that I think they're happening, and I know you have to play the game multiple times to get like the true ending and the rest of the story and all these other things, right? But I think I'm going to do that. I really like it. So, highly recommended. I think just from the small amount I've played, I think it actually might be my favorite Platinum game. Not that I'm like a huge Platinum person or anything, but I really liked what I played of Astral Chain, and Bayonet is fun, but like this has a lot. It seems like this game has a lot of heart and a lot of meaning behind it. And
wait,
I like
Bayonet's
that.
out?
What? Bayonet comes out
No.
on Friday.
Okay, I was about to say, because I was about to ask you, like, how's it feel for different voice actress?
Oh no, I'm still talking about Nier.
So, yeah.
I was just saying like Nier might be my favorite.
Bayonet, because like Platinum, Platinum's resume,
yeah. So I highly recommend it. It's really fun. If you haven't played it before. Also, I'm playing on the Switch, which I know a lot of people eye roll at that, but like I think it might be the best Switch port I've played.
Really?
You're not the first person I've heard say that. I've heard people say like, this is actually like, this is the argument for a port to Switch.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like, so I've also been playing Mario plus Rabbids, and like I like that game a lot. And I think the first game was such a great surprise to everyone that, like, I didn't really care a lot about, like, what it looked like, or not that the game looked bad or anything, but, like, it played great. It was fun. It was silly. And it was just a nice surprise. And I think you go into this one with a little bit of expectations, and it's still great. I like the free roaming stuff. But it just goes to show you that third parties, even with Nintendo's help, still seem to have a hard time figuring out how to have good looking textures or like a smoother experience, as opposed to, because like you look at something like Mario Odyssey and that game looks amazing from front to back, whether you're playing on TV or handheld mode. Super smooth, like the textures on his pants, you can tell that they're like, oh, these are jeans, And then you get into something like Mario plus Rabbids, and like I know they're going for a style, right? But like, I don't know, the ground is just a flat green texture or a flat gray texture or a flat blue texture. There's no like, there's no like texture to it, and there's no great lighting to it, and it's like, you can definitely tell this game wasn't really made by Nintendo. But then you go back to something like Nier, and it's like, aside from only running at 1080p instead of 4K, like its HD counterparts, right? It's like, I don't know if it's lost any texture or substance,
Who handled the port from Automata?
Sega. Internal.
Sega did it.
Sega themselves
on their own.
Wait, no, it wasn't Sega. I lied. Hold on. That was Persona 5. Sega did the port for Persona 5. I'm sorry.
Well, that's because Sega owns Persona now.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. But Virtuous did the port. The company that did Final Fantasy X and 12, they did.
Okay. So they know what they're doing, but they know what they're doing because the 10 and 12 ports were great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. Yeah. It's interesting that you say that because last night I mentioned about with the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection. Like, I was shocked that Nixus didn't handle this port. It was actually Iron Galaxy that handled this port.
Mm-hmm.
And I also speculated that I wonder if this is why it took so long to come out, because like a 9-month gap between a PS5 and PC release is kind of weird, considering Sony kind of like bumped up the timetable for how fast a game releases now. A first party game releases on PC.
Mm-hmm.
So I think companies, when they handle other like ports and stuff, like it's interesting to look at under a microscope. Like how these companies do it, how do they handle it and stuff like that. Whereas like you're seeing with Rabbids, like Ubisoft, handled the development and everything for this game and everything, and it just doesn't shine like a first party title does.
Mm-hmm.
Even though like they had Nintendo in their back corner.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm just shocked at how well Nier plays on the Switch in handheld mode or on the TV. Because like I was like, okay, this looks good in handheld mode, but like, what does it look like when you blow it up to 65 inches, right, on a TV? And it's like, you look at it, I'm like, it looks good. It looks like you're playing on PS4 or Xbox One. So, kudos to them, man. That's I'm gonna continue. That's gonna be like my game for a while, I think. So.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, I was planning on playing Mario plus Rabbids because that's a nice handheld game. I can play it on vacation, whatever, right? But like, I don't think so unless I beat Nier in the next 2 weeks, which everybody knows how great I am at beating games. It's I love it. I love it.
I'm excited for your journey through Nier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I also played the first hour of Persona 5 on Switch. It's, again, an hour in that game is like nothing, but so far it runs good. It looks good. I think it should, though, because it's technically a PlayStation 3 game, but it's a pretty game. it looks like Persona. So, I was actually like in my mind like, okay, I'm gonna trade off between Mario Rabbids and Persona. These are gonna be the games I swap between, and then I'm like, oh, Nier crashed the party and said no thanks.
Nier's like, hold my beer.
And then Nier kicked the door in and went, "You're gonna what?"
But
Time for existential sci-fi.
right.
Hey, speaking of Platinum, have you played Revengeance?
A long time ago.
Rising?
Metal Gear Rising, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Vanquish
I
is
love
better.
that.
it's like the only modern Metal Gear game I've finished. Revengeance fucking rules.
Right?
Yeah,
Dude, that game.
Vanquish is still top
Vanquish is
tier
really good
platinum
too.
for me.
Vanquish
Oh,
is top
absolutely,
tier,
but-
yeah.
Vanquish, Revengeance, and Bayonetta and Nier are like that's the top echelon of platinum.
Yeah. But other than that, I played a little bit of Tony Hawk 1 and 2, and I played some Tetris Effect, and I played some Destiny. So nothing new there. So all right. Well, that was fun. Who has a fun topic? I know some people want to talk about spooky things because Halloween is coming up. So, LeRon and Rush, I know your topics are actually kind of similar.
Okay. Well, let's compare notes here, right? All right. So I want to ask the group. Tonight. For their favorite scary game, as well as a favorite jump scare from a particular game.
Pretty much, yeah. So I was gonna say favorite scary game and favorite thing in any game that has scared you.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. We
So pretty
can
much
make
the same
this-
thing. Pretty much the
We
same
can make
thing.
this happen.
Favorite scary game.
We got a couple of ninnies here, so there's that.
You know, LeRon, why don't you just get some sleeves and hide your own ninnies, okay?
Look, man, I work in healthcare. I don't need to come home and just be scared. I find new and exciting ways to be scared of people
Wait,
in
aren't you
real
a
life.
radiologist? Aren't you a radiologist though? Like,
I'm
it
a
can't be that.
radiology technologist.
It can't be that bad. It's not like you're in the ER.
Whoa.
I am actually in the ER. I'm in the ER. I'm in the OR. I've seen some shit, my dude.
Okay.
I've seen some shit.
Wow, LeRon,
Never
you
mind,
just
I
brought
spoke
all the fighting
spoke out
words.
of turn. My bad.
Yeah.
No, well,
Yeah,
it's just, it's
Wait,
like,
wait, Rush. Is that your kitty?
Yeah, that's medic.
Hi.
Hey,
No,
bud.
but like LeRon, anytime I've ever been asked like what's the most fucked up thing I've seen, I can't tell that story.
Oh, it's never After Dark.
No,
It's an NDA.
I will not tell it. I will not tell it. Because the things that I have seen, it's not just like, oh, this person, it's not like that Seinfeld episode where George's dad falls on Fusilli Jerry and it ends up, but it's like several scores worse, more traumatic, and way sadder. People are the worst.
I don't
And
want
I've
any
seen
of this.
You don't.
man,
You
we'll
don't.
wait-
I promise you don't.
We'll wait for After Dark so you can tell us about what was extracted from someone's butthole.
No.
I get it.
No.
I also work healthcare, like as a technician, and people are the worst.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
you're also a radio tech?
Not as a radio tech. No, I'm an ophthalmic tech.
Oh man.
So
eyeballs.
Eye shit.
I just want to make sure. See,
People
see,
are the
now you're-
worst.
now you're making me squeamish because like
Nope.
eyeballs and bones, like I can't fuck with it.
Nope.
Bro, it's
Why you guys gotta hurt me
People are
like
worse.
that? No, eyes
Sorry.
gross. No.
eyes are cool though.
I've been in some weird situations in my job. The one thing that still grosses me out, cleaning out someone's ears. That's still gross.
Oh yeah.
It's still gross. That's the only thing that makes me go, ooh.
Trust me, I've seen disasters of what happens when someone pops a champagne cork and is aimed right at them and stuff like that.
No,
Oh, yeah.
stop.
Yeah, like so after that, I was like, yeah, yeah, I would do the whole like the knife thing in the sink, with, if I want to be fancy.
Let's
I
all.
got a pretty bad trauma story with someone getting hit in the eye.
Nope.
Oh, I'll bet.
Nope.
Oh yeah, no.
Nope. Nope.
Oh, that's fucking...
I'm out. Hell.
Okay, all right. So anyway, okay, all right. It's because we have a
Scariest game I've ever played. Life. No,
Really?
because we have a big crowd here tonight. Let's just name one game and one of our favorite jump scare instances and let's keep it pretty round.
Mm.
Do I need to go first?
No, I will go first.
This would be interesting because
Let the sissies go first.
Yeah. I've not really dabbled a lot in scary games, but I do. So I like the old school Resident Evil games because they're not really scary; they're just atmospheric. But in Resident Evil 1, the remake of 1, when you're like,
Ooh.
so like when you're in there and you're like expecting the dog to jump through the window, and he doesn't, like the first one. But then you come out from that first section and they're like in the hallway. Mm-mm.
They're in the hallway. Yep.
Yeah. No.
Hey, bro.
Yeah. Also, Resident Evil 0 on the train. That game is.
I hate that.
That game is spooky.
Oh.
Because there's like a giant spider monster you have to fight in like the back of the train or something. And I've only played through it once, so I might be misremembering. But I remember you have to fight like a giant spider, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is. No, look, I already have a hard enough time with spiders and bugs and stuff, and no.
Nah.
I do. So I actually have been acquiring all of the Resident Evil games, and I actually own them all except for 8 now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because I thought about like maybe sometime next year after I figure some time slots out, maybe I'll play through something at some point. But because like Resident Evil lore and the characters and stuff are super intriguing, and I really like how crazy and wacky it gets, but still kind of makes sense, I always like Barry's you almost turn into a Jill sandwich line in like 5 separate games. He says it differently, and it's kind of
You should have these lockpicks. You are the master of lockpicking, after all.
yeah.
Why didn't I have these out the gate?
You almost got turned into a sandwich.
Hey, so what's your least favorite Resident Evil game? Since you have almost all of them.
Well, have you played all of them?
So I've played 0, 1, parts of original 2, parts of original 3, I've played parts of all of them. I've finished 0, 1, 5, and 6.
Are you just collecting like the core ones, or are you collecting all the weird
Well, I have
ones?
I have Revelations 1 and 2 and Code Veronica X. So
About Raccoon, wasn't there one Operation Raccoon City?
Operation
yeah,
Raccoon
the one that's
City.
kind of like the multiplayer one that's kind of like Gears is super fun. I played it with Stoy a couple months ago, actually, when it was first announced as backwards compatible, and we played together for one session. It was cool.
Have you played Dead Aim? Oh man, that one's trash.
No. Look, if it, I actually really like the Revelations games because they're not quite as scary. They're more action oriented, and I actually like. 5 is okay, but I actually kind of like 6 because it's more action oriented than, the other ones.
Yeah, you don't want my answer for my least favorite Resident Evil. Like it's an unpopular opinion.
My least favorite.
Is it Code Veronica? Because then I'll be upset.
No,
No, it's not
Okay, then we're good.
the
Then we're
out
good.
of all the ones that I've played, 4 is actually my least favorite.
Thank you. Me too.
But also, like, I didn't play 4 until after, like, you could use a second stick as a camera, and so I think like the controls out of everything really messed me up, and that's why I didn't really care to play it. Because it's still stuck on that almost like Dreamcast style control system where the stick aimed, moved, strafed, and like I was like, hey, come on, there's another stick right here. It's perfectly fine.
What that other stick do?
I don't know what the
What
other
the right
stick did.
stick doing?
What the right stick do?
Also, I've always really wanted to go back to that game, and I might just wait for the remake to come out now.
Oh yeah, the
Because-
remake. Whew.
Yeah. Also, the sales guy kind of looks like Xur from Destiny. So, what are you buying?
What are you buying? What are you selling?
But that's my answer. Resident Evil 0 fighting the spider is super creepy.
Oh hell yeah!
So,
What about the shark? The first time you see the shark in the first one
Oh my god.
is the most alarming thing in the world because you're like,
Yes,
"There's a
yeah.
shark!"
yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, but the thing is like, I played Resident Evil 1 so many times, like, the shark doesn't really bother me. You know, you just kind of like, I don't know, wait for it to move. run
True.
away. Run away.
Right on.
But to be fair, a shark in the basement is scary. Just in general.
Well, because like up until that point, it was like, everything was. I'm going to use the word grounded.
Yeah.
As in, like, okay, there's zombies, there's dogs, there's things that are a little bit bigger than the zombies. Okay, that's cool. I am prepared for almost everything. And then you get into the basement, and then it's like, all right, cool, we're moving along, everything's great. And then they just throw the book out the window, and they're like, guess what? There's a shark now.
Yep, sharks.
And
There's
then
sharks
isn't
now.
And then don't you go to like the botanical garden like shortly after that, or am I remembering that out of order?
The garden is after the shark.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember playing the original back when it was like brand new on PS1, and like yeah, like the dog jump scares through the window. Yeah, that was one thing, but the holy fuck moment for me was when you come back from the underground from the mansion for the first time, and one of those hunter alphas like chase you up, up from the elevator shaft and opens the door behind you. And it was literally one of those things where, of course, like, like I'm on my last like string of life and stuff like that, and yeah, so yeah, that bastard jumps at me and like, takes my head clean off, and that was a game over. And I can trace back to that moment as to why I cannot stand dying in survival horror games. I can't stand it because, like, like when I get to a point where I'm about to die, like, my anxiety level's through the roof.
Yeah, so that's my answer.
I'll follow up. I would say my favorite scary game, even though the number of scary games I've played in my lifetime I can count on one hand, is the medium. I can handle the medium. I like the medium. It is creepy. You're investigating it's like a resort for like employees or something, like workers, and there was like a massacre there, and I think I'm okay with it because the jump scares are minimal. There's still really scary shit in there. Like, there's the Maw, which is voiced by Troy Baker, which I found, but sounds nothing like him. The Maw is terrifying. Absolutely motherfucking terrifying. It's not a jump scare, so I can handle it. And, like, some visuals, like, checking out, like, the swimming pool area is just bathed with blood, and seeing, like, kids' toys and, like, effects, like, of, children that have died there, and seeing what terrible thing happened to person you're looking for. Oh my gosh, it's just great story, great use of horror, fear. I just think it's clever. So I actually thoroughly enjoy the medium. I played it on Game Pass, and I actually bought the PS5 copy so I could re-experience it with the DualSense. So there's that. I don't have a favorite jump scare of something I've played, but if I'm allowed to cheat, because sometimes I'm too scared to play a horror game, but I'm interested to know what it is, I'll watch a Let's Play. And I forget what group I watch because they're hilarious dudes. So, like, their humor helps me get through it. And it's Outlast. The jump scares in Outlast I like nearly shit myself. Like when you're in the camera mode and that guy's like, "Come here, little pig," or whatever he calls you. Oh my gosh.
I feel like that game really popularized the we're gonna turn our night vision lights on and watch us scary jump scare on the TV. Also in night vision.
I don't know what about night vision. It's something about night vision that kind of unnerves me. Well, so is being in an abandoned insane asylum where people are running around naked, killing each other. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's creepy.
Yeah, that's what scared me the most was the Dong twins.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, all right.
They're staring at you. Their dongs right there. Talking about what they're gonna do to you when they get their hands on you. I'm like,
that sounds.
The Dong Twins.
The Dong Twins. Yeah, it was the Dong Twins and Butt Doctor, because the one doctor guy doesn't wear he just has like a butcher's gown on.
And that's it. Yeah.
And that's it.
So it
That's
took
all he needs.
me watching people to play it, but it had some of the quote unquote best jump scares for me.
I guess I will be the bridge between the more squeamish and the less squeamish. My favorite scary game is the original Dead Space.
My man.
It's the one of those that is it's the first one of those that I could properly complete. Actually, wait a minute. When did Dead Space come out? 2007? Is that 2007?
2008.
2008. Okay. BioShock came out in 2007, but I completed Dead Space first.
I don't feel like BioShock was that scary of a game.
Well, so BioShock actually the original BioShock has my favorite jump scare.
Okay.
So it's later in the game where you've basically gotten to a part in this story where it's like, hey, there's your thing, go get it. And you get it, and you turn around, and there's a splicer just right there. And I'm like, ah! And
you stole my scene. Oh my god! Yeah, you're working. You're working at a workbench.
Yeah.
And every workbench room you come to, it's always been a safe room. Nothing ever fucks with you. That one room though, and I know it's there. I know it's there just for the developers to laugh at you, because like normally, you hear a necromorph when it gets close to you. It's absolutely silent though, because you're working on this bench. As soon as you step away from the bench and everything closes up and you actually have control of Isaac again, you turn around and there's a fucking slasher right there.
Ooh, I don't know if I can do this. Ooh.
Oh, get ready, Stephanie, because I'm pretty sure the Motive team has got a whole bunch of fuck with you moments in the Dead Space remake.
Yeah, didn't they say they did a thing where they kept a few core jump scares, but they just kind of it's now randomized or something?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Mama.
So this is just my memory. I remember the Dead Space game having fewer jump scares than any other. Than other horror games traditionally do. It's got the creep factor. It does a really good. Version of the first Alien film.
Yeah, you pretty much know when you're about to be attacked.
Yeah, I mean, they're the one I remember, even though I saw it coming, it still kind of got me, was when you're first in an elevator and one of them jumps down, and that's early enough in the game. You're like, okay, this is just what this game is, fine. But the BioShock one specifically, I remember, it was my ex-wife. She's like, I'm going to bed. You going to be up soon? Like, yeah, I'm just going to finish this chapter, and then I'll come up. She shuts the lights off, and I'm like, it's fine. And then all of us, I screamed. My dog came down to make sure I was okay. She comes down holding, I think she came down with a shoe. She's like, what's going on? I'm like, what are you going to do with a shoe? But yeah, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm coming up. I'm going to bed, and then I couldn't sleep the rest of the night. But whatever. But like other scary games, like if you've ever played Limbo, like there are a lot of really good jump scares in, but most of them center around your character just dying out of nowhere because you didn't know the trap was there.
Yeah.
Limbo's really good, and then the first Resident Evil game I played was the remake of 2. Like I just avoided that series for whatever reason, and I found that game way more fun than just being scary. Like there were a couple of times where I was legitimately like scared, but it was more like, this is just a popcorn good time rather than.
That's something I can say too. Like the remake games, I'm not sure. They're entertaining for me, but I think it was entertaining because I had nostalgia on my side.
Okay.
Because, I ran those PS1 games into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And so, now I will say though, Resident Evil 2 remake, Mr. X just clotting around the fucking place like that gave me real anxiety.
Oh yeah.
They gave me real anxiety.
The first time it happened, you're like, wait, what is that noise? What is that? And boom!
There's a video I saw recently on TikTok where it's a person walking in and out of the safe room while Mr. X is going back upstairs. And as he turns to the stairs, he sees like the player and just walks back down. And they're doing voiceover like, "Wait a minute, there you are!" And they just walk back down. Oh, where'd you go?
Where'd you go?
I just love the whole thing. I just love the whole thing where you run back up the stairs to check and see if that helicopter pilot possibly survived, and then all of a sudden he like clears the wreck. He's like, "Surprise, motherfucker!"
Yep. I do like the fact that there was a PC modder that put X Gonna Give It To You by DMX. That was right there.
Have you seen the mod where they turn him into Thomas the Tank Engine?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what? Oh my gosh.
And then when
The
Goose
modding
Game was
community
popular,
is
they made it like there was someone who did. I don't know if they made a mod of this, but it was a giant goose, and because Untitled Goose Game rules.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I actually prefer scary movies to scary games.
Are you staying around for After Dark?
I believe so. Yeah.
Because that's my topic for After Dark.
I do want to shout out current Vice employee, former Giant Bomb employee Patrick Klepek. I think it was him I watched play Alien Isolation, and there's a scene in that where like the help. Are we doing this? There's a scene.
You stole my Dead Space one, and now you're stealing my Alien Isolation one.
He's on a roll.
Oh well, then I'm gonna tag on yours.
No.
You guys are essentially the same person.
Honestly, mine might be different from yours because like my favorite scary game is actually I am gonna say Dead Space, like Matt did take my jump scare moment from Dead Space, but there was a jump scare in the second Dead Space game that was I was not ready for it.
Speaking of eye shit, Dead Space 2, am I right?
Right? Yeah. Oh my god, I can't wait for that because let me okay. So in Dead Space 2, the first time you get to where basically like where the school's at, and the necromorph children start coming after you, I was not ready for that shit. And it's not even a jump scare because like it's just an army of these kids just show up and they're all over your ass like a bad habit, you know.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now Alien Isolation, I had the weirdest jump scares because I played the PC version of Alien Isolation. So and apparently the AI for the Alien was a little bit looser in the PC version than it was in the console. Spoiler alert: there was always more than one xenomorph.
Mm-hmm.
Always, yeah, it's a whole damn hive. So if you guys are thinking it's one xenomorph, no, you're crazy. But anyway, my jump scares happen though, like whenever, like like you're in a room, and never assume that you're safe. So it's not even like it's scripted, but you're in a room, and all of a sudden the alien just kind of like appears, like doesn't even like he doesn't even you don't even hear it like stomping around and jumping through a vent, like it just shows the fuck up. And it's a jump scare moment because like the PC version had a glitch where like sometimes the alien's response time is not on point. So it's like you're literally like, holy shit, you're staring at it before you realize I need to turn around and hide, stuff like that. So I had a couple of those, and like that was the most stressful like Halloween gameplay I did, because I did that 2 years ago for Halloween. And yeah, that was scary. Like it elicited like irrational fear in me, so there was that. Yeah,
Alien Isolation was a fantastic game.
It's
but
a great.
It stopped scaring me once I got the flamethrower.
That too. Yeah.
Because now I'm just spritzing this thing like a cat.
But real fast, going back to Dead Space 1.
Flamethrower.
Yeah, you just like spritz the vent. You're like, yeah.
It's like, get back in your cage.
Going back to Dead Space 1 real quick though, Matt. After your first ambush in the elevator, were you like me? Every time I got in the elevator, I pressed my back into a corner and just and waited.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, neat. That's a good. No, it's Dead Space is like one of like the new penultimate in like horror games. Like it's up there with like the big ones, which kind of leads me to like my favorite horror game is Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
That game's not, and that game doesn't have a whole lot of jump scares, but that game is so atmospheric and unsettling. Like it pulls something, like it like rocks something like real deep in me when I'm playing it. Like I remember the first time I played it, and you're like going between like worlds and stuff, or like the different like phases, and you come across the diner, which if you're in like the different phase, there's a hole there, and you can like travel. You can do like a shortcut across like a certain part of the map. But if you're in a different part, there's just a big sign that just says there used to be a hole here, now there's not. And I remember coming across that first and being like, what in the hell does that mean? And you're just like, no, that's gross. That's really creepy. I don't like any of this.
Right.
And then the game that story in general is just unsettling and fun.
What are your thoughts when you saw it wasn't a very detailed trailer, but obviously the announcement and trailer for the remake for that? Because real quick, like speaking of me being a pansy, I finally grown a pair and I'm starting to play horror games, and I figured, well, the timing's great because you got Dead Space remake, RE4 remake. I bought RE2 remake. I just need to play it. And now I got Silent Hill 2 remake, so I'm looking forward to it.
I'm waiting to see what it's like when it comes out. I mean, I'm one of the few people who is just like, I don't know, there's nothing wrong with the PlayStation 2 version. Just emulate it. It's totally fine. Like, even that, they did like an HD remake like a couple of years back, and that it made emulations look better. Like, I was like, I'm just going to keep emulating this game. But assuming it's just like, the same, I'm really scared that they're going to mess with the story.
Yeah.
I'm scared that they're going to like try to like do like what the Final Fantasy VII remake did, where they gotcha guys, you thought it was the same shit. Like I'm waiting for them to do that. Yeah, like I'm waiting for that to happen, and it could be good. Like I'm not trying to be like, oh, if they change the story, it's awful, but I'm very precociously approaching it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I've never played Silent Hill 2, so I don't know anything about it.
Oh, it's such
I've never
a
played any Silent
good
Hill
story.
games, actually.
I'm of the I'm of the camp where like because back then you had the Resident Evil series on PlayStation, and you had the Silent Hill series, and I immediately like I tried playing Silent Hill, the first one, never beat it. because I realized, like I want my scary games like scare me and not so much play with my emotions, and that's exactly what Silent Hill does. So I am definitely excited, and shout out to Stephanie here because she actually threw up a superior boss rush banner yesterday, asking which would you prefer, which one are you more hyped for, the Silent Hill 2 remake or the Resident Evil 4 remake? Which he shouted out that one out on the on Crossroads last night.
Yay.
But yeah, like I'm, like I don't fuck with me. That's just the way I am. Like I give much respect to Silent Hill. I did my best to get through the PT trial play. Nope. I'm sorry. Sync Fetus was unborn Sync Fetus was one too much for me.
He's just cold, man. he's just cold. He's just cold. Wrap him up. It's all right. But as for like what has scared me the most in a video game, is anyone familiar with the game Eternal Darkness?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Love Eternal Darkness.
Okay. That game scared the
Talk about fucking with
ever-loving.
ya.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and that's why that game scares me, because this game has a sanity meter, and when it starts to when it drops and your character goes insane, weird things happen and they range from like really kind of normal to like your character walks to a room, starts screaming, and then you take like a little bit of damage, to your character starts sinking into the floor, or your character's head falls off, they pick it up and start reciting Shakespeare.
Oh.
Or what
Like
happened
you
to
do.
me, like normal things. Or what happened to me, see, I bought this game used back when I used to back when I worked at GameStop. I picked up a used copy of it because it's a pretty rare game to find.
Yeah.
So picked it up used, started playing it, went through a room, my sanity meter was low, went through a room, and a big splash screen comes up and it just says, "Thank you for playing the Eternal Darkness demo. We hope to see you during our release date," and it gave the date at the bottom.
Oh,
and I was like,
you went to GameStop.
Did I
tried to fuck
buy a demo? And then like the splash screen went down and the game resumed.
Ooh.
I was
Wow.
I had literally like a good solid maybe 45 seconds to 2 minutes of absolute heartbreak, terror,
what
every emotion. And then it just stopped and like the game came back and I was like, yeah, no video game has ever made me feel that before. All right, let's go.
I feel like that's just an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark, where it's going, it knows what scares you.
Oh, Smokey, you've been ripped off. Yeah, Dr. Vink's gonna come out and I'm gonna be like, oh no, we're out. But yeah, that is definitely, like, if anyone's never played that game is definitely one that kind of, it messes with you. It's all like Lovecraftian horror too, so if you're into that type of stuff, it's really good.
Well,
That's a game that like I want a remake, but I almost feel like they couldn't do a remake of it.
They would really have to do a reimagining of that.
Yeah.
Ed is begging for like Eternal Darkness to come back.
I mean, Eternal Darkness as an idea, as a game, like, it was amazing. It was amazing, but I don't think you can. It's almost like when they talk about remaking Metal Gear Solid, like all of the things that happen at the end of that game, where it just starts analyzing like save files. There are certain permissions that like developers just don't have over your system anymore, and like trying to do things like that, they could probably do it and have it mess with the player in different ways, but I just don't think it would land the way it did back then.
Speaking of Eternal Darkness and Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes remake was done by the same company, Silicon Knights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so that was Eternal Darkness was one of the game titles that Psycho Mantis would read out. And I was like, whoa, they did the thing!
Mm-hmm.
But I was young and dumb and didn't know the two game developers were the same. I was like, whoa!
Still funny.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Best gimmick.
Yeah. Eternal Darkness that's a classic. That's a good one.
Really is.
So, well, any other spooky topics, or do we want to wrap up there? Do we want to? Put a bow on it. Send it out. Trick or treat.
Corey, Stephanie, thanks for participating in this conversation.
We're trying.
We know you tried. We know.
I did try.
They didn't try. They did.
I know Resident Evil isn't exactly the scariest series, but it's fun.
It's got its moments.
You know what else is scary? When you're in the garage in Resident Evil 7, okay, and you turn around and the dad is there, and you have to like beat him to death with he catches on fire with the car and everything.
I'm sorry, Resident Evil 7 itself is a scary fucking thing. Like the fucking mold. No,
that's the VR one, right?
The grandma too. Super scary.
That's the first one. That's the first one I did in first person. It has VR, but that's the first one I did in first person.
So,
okay.
I feel like that's, out of the whole Resident Evil series, just in my opinion, the scariest game. Like, if we're talking about just, I don't know, because some, like, RE4 is, like, action and scary, where 7 is just just terrifying, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Boss Rush Podcast. Join our Discord, the Boss Rush Network Discord.
It's a good Discord.
Head to the website bossrush.net, where Stephanie, LeRon, and others write a bunch of cool stuff. Matt, Rush, thank you for joining us tonight on this episode. Rush, where can we find you on the internet?
I am at RushJetTV on Twitter. You can yell at me there and send all your complaints there. You can also find me at Rogue Station 9 on Twitter, which links to all the other streaming stuff that I do. Yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Matt.
You can find me at infinite_rewind everywhere I want to be. That is Twitter, Instagram. That is my handle in the Boss Rush Discord. I also co-host a couple other podcasts. One of them is about music. It is called Trivial Merit, where my co-host Caroline and I, we come up with 8-song playlists from an artist's catalog to get us from a negative headspace to a positive one. We just released the one off of the iconic band Heart. Next is all covers. So we're calling it Oops, All Covers.
Nice.
I also co-host a movie podcast where my friend Jesse and I watch movies and talk about them. We are about to release our Immortality episode, which is a video game, but also a movie, but also an experience. We talk about any kind of, we pick one, but we're not afraid of anything. So that's called Freereeling It. And I am also a co-host on the Bald Gun Guy podcast for Scanline Media. That is a playthrough of the modern Hitman trilogy. We are in between Hitman 2 and 3. We are about to do the New York level. And Hitman is one of my favorite series ever, and it is a fun show, and I'm glad that Six and Ty allow me to nerd out with them.
Nice.
That's where you can find me.
Hitman is really fun to watch. I'm too stubborn and impatient to play it.
I really enjoyed Hitman 2. I just am disappointed in myself when I can't come up with like the extra fun ways to kill people. Like in Miami, I was able to kill someone while I was in a flamingo suit? But I think there's a way where you could be in a flamingo suit, but also like sail away like on top of dolphins or something like crazy like that. And I was trying to like achieve that, but I couldn't.
You want to know something real dumb? In Hitman 2, specifically that level, you can go up into like the experimental weapons area.
Yep.
Where one of the targets is like trying to sell. You can basically turn everybody in the level into a penguin.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
There's
man.
Someone's excited.
It's It's called the Pink Army. It rules.
I need to figure that out because I just had the guy shot. I mean, that's boring.
Yeah, it is. There are some stupidly hilarious things in Hitman. With 3, like you can play all 3 games now, but like the Elusive Target arcade that they've started doing, that is kind of my new jam with Hitman. I mess with that all the time, and some of the dialogue that happens in those missions, like a lot of them, because a lot of the Elusive Targets, I miss because I'm busy. I got shit to do, and some of the dialogue of that is just hilariously absurd, and I love that series so much.
Nice. Stephanie, where can we find you?
People can find me on the internets at Klimov, KLIMOV_author on Twitter and Instagram. Articles on bossrush.net and on After Dark. And EXPcast.
LeRon.
There you go.
You can catch me everywhere on social media, Twitch, YouTube, PlayStation ID, Steam ID, just looking up Exodus 803. Tuesday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Exodus803. The Crossroads podcast, where we talk about video games, the Xbox, PlayStation, and PC variety. Sometimes talk about the Switch, so don't think you're getting left out there. That's the major stuff. You already know I'm a co-host here at the Boss Rush podcast, and I'm the lead host for Boss Rush After Dark. So there you have it. That's how you get all access to me. DMs are open too.
That's scary. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
You can find me at IamCoreyNHD on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on Nintendo Power Block, Expansion Pass, Tower Casuals, After Dark, all the things here on the Boss Rush Network. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, share, rate, and review wherever you listen. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.